Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So we're going to start in the next 5 minutes. Okay, everyone? Is that okay by everyone? That's cool.
That's fine.
Okay, for those of us just joining, we're going to be starting now in 3, 2, 1, 0. So, once again, I'd like to welcome everyone to today's webinar. I believe everyone can hear me good.
Yes.
Probably if you can hear me, just say uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right, so let's begin this very informative webinar. First and foremost, I'd like to welcome everyone for joining us today for this exciting and informative webinar. So, if you're looking to create a resume that not just only stand out from the crowd, but also truly reflect your skills, experience, and aspiration, guess what? This is where you should be. And we all know that the most difficult job that everyone has actually undertaken is getting the job. Actually, that's the most difficult job. And the reason is because you are trying to market your skill sets, you want to market your experience, you want to market your education to somebody that doesn't have much, know much about you. So you're trying to convince somebody that it's your turn, that the job that they are looking to hire somebody into, that you are the right person. And it's very, very difficult to convince any human being, right? So because of that, we have to focus more on how we're going to properly market ourselves. But today, we're going to be using a particular tool called ChatGPT. It's a new tool that is currently in vogue. Is an open AI tool that uh, has a lot of capabilities. So today we want to see how we're going to use the ChatGPT to create a resume for us, right? So I'm going to be demonstrating a lot of things today just to see the capability of ChatGPT in creating resume, right? If you have not met me before, guess what? My name is Olukayode Oshilaja. Okay, I'm an IT security consultant with Proven Academy, the uh, company, the institute that is bringing or facilitating this particular webinar. Okay, I've been with the company for about 6, 7 years right now. I'm the lead instructor for this amazing organization. They're given to training people, from non-IT role into the field of cybersecurity. So I'm an IT trainer as well as a mentor in the field of cybersecurity. That's if you have not met me before. And if you have met me before and you are one of the returning students, guess what? You are welcome. Okay. And I believe today we're going to be having an exciting and amazing time together. Now, a new sheriff in town, like I said, Chat GPT. What is Chat GPT? Chat GPT is a large language model developed by a company called OpenAI, right? Which is based on the GPT architecture. The full meaning of GPT is generative prediction. Let me know. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, no.
Okay, so my Bluetooth is kind of failing. That's why I think I might just disconnect from all of them altogether, right? Just give me 1 second. So let's keep on rolling. So ChatGPT is designed to generate human-like responses to natural language that is imputed into that. So which allow users to have conversation with this AI module as if you are having a conversation. It's like you are having conversation with human being. That's the way ChatGPT kind of relates with us. It allows us to have a proper interaction with it. So, and we want to see, like I said, how we can use this to generate a resume. But before we proceed today, it's important for us to understand what are the objectives of today's webinar. Today, we want to talk about, first and foremost, what's the fundamentals of an effective resume, okay? Then we're going to talk about how you can utilize GPT, ChatGPT to create resume that will showcase your expertise. We're also going to see how we can use that to create a cover letter, to analyze job description. And you also see that this ChatGPT can also help you to analyze a job description, can also give you an example of a sample interview question and the likely responses for any job description that you give to that. That is very, very cool. And we're going to see that, in practice, in demo today. So whether you're a fresh graduate or you're a professional that is looking for career change, or you're simply looking to improve your current resume, guess what? In today's webinar, and based on what we're going to be doing, you are going to learn a lot. I just want you to, focus on the screen and just follow me as I go through this. Now, if you want a copy of these slides, make sure you send me a message, maybe your email or something. If you have been to our webinar before or you're in part of our mailing list, you will definitely get a copy uh, of the video as well as the slide deck. Okay. So just make sure you drop your information before you go, right? So that's where we're going to go. Now, let's talk about resume fundamentals. What are the things that make resume resume? Number one, a resume is an essential tool for anyone that is looking for a job because it's going to help you to create a positive impression, and it's also going to help you to summarize your qualification as it highlights your strengths, demonstrates your growth in the field of your choice. So, which means the having a resume is a very, very good thing. It creates the first impression about your strength, your professionalism, right? Is going to be the one that will market you to your potential employer. Now, the first thing that we want to look at when it has to do with resume fundamentals is personal branding, right? A resume is going to serve as a personal branding tool for you because it's going to enable you to differentiate yourself from other applicants, and it's also going to allow you to communicate your unique value propositions to potential employer, right? So personal branding is very, very important because you are entering into a competitive market, right? And anyone that have a very attractive branding is going to get the better share. Now, another thing about resume is that it's going to provide the summary of your qualification. Yeah, it provides a concise summary of your education, your skills, your experience, your work experience, possibly your achievement, the certifications that you have, because these are things that your potential employer are going to assess to determine if you are the best fit for that job. Now, still talking about resume, it's also going to highlight your strengths because resume allow you to emphasize your most relevant qualifications. It tailors your application to the specific requirement of the job openings, right? So if you want to apply for a job, you make sure that the resume that you want to present to that job is something that focuses more on the specific requirement as specified in the job description. Now, it also demonstrates your growth, your career or professional growth, because a well-structured resume is going to illustrate your career progression. It highlights your promotion, your new responsibility, as well as your professional development in the field of your choice. So the last thing we want to talk about is that your resume is expected to have some keyword, okay, which means that it's going to include some industry specific keywords and phrases, all right? And because this is what will help you to make your resume pass what we call ATS. ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System, ATS. So because the recruiter, when they display any job, right? Maybe over 5,000 people apply for that job and they're only looking for one person. So the best way they filter through this massive dump of resume is that they make the resume go through what we call the ATS system, right? And they might specify a specific item on the job description. Maybe they want to filter using the word anyone that have maybe security plus, or anyone that have um, experience in tenableness or something. Now, if any of those keywords are missing in your resume, there are higher chances that your resume will not be filtered for review by the recruiter. So, which means when what ChatGPT is going to help you to do is that it's going to make you highlight or identify those keywords. All right. I believe everyone is now hearing me, right? This thing is disconnecting and giving a lot of challenges right here, but let's keep on rolling. So those are the major fundamentals of resume. So talking about resume, we want to see how we can use resume, how we can use ChatGPT to generate basic resume templates. And then we're going to customize it to fit our own information and skills. We're also going to see how we can review and edit that same resume so that we make sure it is well organized in such a way that is going to highlight our most relevant qualification and experiences, right? And then we'll use ChatGPT to also get the feedback on our resume and suggestions for improvement. Now, I've been talking so much about ChatGPT. How about me introducing you to this guy called ChatGPT? Now, if you look at the screen, you see this particular link. I'm going to copy this because I'm already logged in uh, into this ChatGPT already. I'm going to show you how you can get there, but I'm sharing the link with you. As a matter of fact, if you go into Google and you search ChatGPT, right, either 4 or something, they have different version. You come right here. So this is how you're going to get in there. Click on try ChatGPT. Now, I want you to know that ChatGPT has 2 versions. We have the basic and free version, and then we have the paid version. So the version that I'm using is paid version. That's what they call ChatGPT Plus, right? But let's see how we can use this ChatGPT to analyze or to uh, to first and foremost create resume template. Now, this aspect of creating resume template may not be very, very important, but it is also something that we need to know because, when it has to do with resume templates, there are 1001 websites you can go to, and then they're going to give you a very good resume templates. Example of resumenow.com, I believe. If you go there, you can just log in, and then it's going to give you different template that you can use and modify and things like that. But we want to just see first and foremost how we can use ChatGPT to create a resume template. Then you will see that ChatGPT knows a lot of things, and then it can function, you know, to do anything based on the instruction that you give to that to this particular tool. Now, let's think of a guy whose name is John Doe. I have a prompt already, right? So he wants to create a resume template. So John Doe is a professional. Now, I now want to ask ChatGPT to create a resume template for a professional with the following details. Now, I'm copying the information because I already, I don't like typing when people are watching me, right? But I already created the prompt already. So create resume template for professional with the following details. The name is John Doe, the email is john.doe@domain.com, and the phone number is also there, right? I can even put there and say, do you understand? Do you understand? Now, you say, yes, I understand. Here's the resume template for John Doe with the provided contact information. And now we have, is generating the information right now. It knows that every resume will have the name, the contact information, and it's going to have the objective as well as other information, right? So we're waiting for ChatGPT to finish typing. Automatically is giving us this information. volunteer experience. Okay, footage and do email. Okay, so he assumed that he's completed the information, right? Now we can do so many things. We can copy this, right, and put it in a Word document, and then we reformat it, right, by ourselves. But now we can also ask ChatGPT to convert this information to HTML, right? Don't worry if you do not know much about programming. We have So I asked ChatGPT to convert that information to HTML, right? So now it's doing the same thing right now. Another thing is that all this information that it provided for us, like the career objective, if you have those information and you can actually specify, right, that John Doe with the career objective that specify this and that and that. We're going to see how we can individually, create the content for each of those section that we have right now. But let's just wait for ChatGPT to finish its work. Now, you may not know much about coding, right? But what we are seeing right now is that this particular tool has the capability of teaching you how to write code. Now, I don't want to digress too much because I just want to restrict the urge of telling you few things that I believe that this particular tool can actually do for you, right? So now it's trying to give us, now it appears that this thing is not completed, right? I can say continue, right? But it's going to start all over again. But now let me use let me use a one of the two that I believe I've tried before. Uh, can you convert this information? Can you, yeah, let's see that. Continue. Let's say continue. Here's a continuation of the HTML formatted, right? Okay. Sometimes if the information seems to be too much, it kind of gets stuck. So that's why I asked ChatGPT to continue, and it's giving us the rest of the information. I don't like to load it with so much information so that it doesn't get overwhelmed with, some things, but let's just see how it's going to play out. Now, if it is HTML, the good thing is that you need to have a notepad open a notepad, right? Because that information, you're going to copy it into notepad when it's ready. Let me move it on this side. Certifications, that's towards the bottom of the okay. Mhm. Okay, let's copy the first part of this. Come here and just click copy the code, and then we're going to paste it right here. And then once the second one is completed, we're also going to copy that and paste it. Okay. Yeah. This code complete the HTML version of the resume template. You can copy and paste, right? So we'll come here and copy that, and then I'm going to paste it right here. Okay, let's see. I want to be sure that everything is properly aligned. Okay, so here's the HTML version of the template of the resume. Now go ahead and save this, right? I'm going to save it somewhere that I know I can easily retrieve that. I will say it's webinar demo, right? Now, if you are saving it, make sure you use the name, let's say John Doe, John.Doe, or let me say John Doe underscore resume dot html. So don't forget to put the word HTML there, and then you change the save as type to all files. Go ahead and save it. So now if you save it, you open the folder. Now the folder is right here. I have the folder open. Let me take this down. This is the folder. Now I have this right here. If I double click that, you're able to see the template already in HTML version. But now if I close this, I now say issue, I can right click on this again and say open with Word. If I say open with Word, then you'll be able to see your template in Word version. So which means you can then come here and modify that. So now we've used ChatGPT to create resume templates, right? Now I said that this side of the capability is optional. If you have your own um, what do we call that template, or maybe you go to resume now, and that's fine. That's another option. But you can see what one of the capability of ChatGPT. Let me go ahead and save this right as into where we ought to save it, and then we move on to, let me see what document and say save. So that's one of the capability that we just experienced now. Now, in a situation whereby, let's go back to the presentation. Now, in a situation whereby you now want to update each section of the resume, okay, let's say we want to update each section of the resume, right? Maybe we want a career objective. My Bluetooth is switching in between different devices, so that's why you're experiencing some um, break in transmission. I apologize for that, and I don't want to go into the settings right now and start modifying anything. So now you already have the resume. Now let's now say we want to say, okay, you should create for us a career objective, right? Maybe you do not like this, right? You want to create your own career objective. You can use the word like, okay, think like a professional, right? And say, let's go to ChatGPT again. So I say, now you can still follow the same thread, right? Stop generating. So you can follow the same thread and say that ChatGPT, I can still do like this. Maybe I open another one. That think like a professional, create 2 paragraphs of career objective for a professional with 5 years experience in, you can mention the area of your own focus, right? In risk management framework, for example, with relevant skills in Python, programming language, Tenable Nexus, you can go on and on. Things that you want to specify in your career objective. You know, your career objectives is very, very important, right? So you just say, go ahead, and it's going to go ahead and create for you that same information. Copy the information and save it. Maybe we have our own resume right here. Let's assume that you've reviewed that information and you feel satisfied with that information. You can then go ahead and Control Z. You can go ahead and adopt that information. Okay, Control Z. Okay, this looks better. So if you feel comfortable with that, now your career objective is already set, right? Now, let's now think of a situation whereby you have a job description actually. You know, like we said, that it's good for your job description to align with your resume. Now, you can say, if you pick a particular job description, for example, let's say this particular one that we have here, I came into LinkedIn and I saw this particular job. I said, okay, yeah, I think I'm interested in this job. I will copy that and ask ChatGPT, asking him to say, okay, create a job description, okay, based on the, create a resume, right, based on the following job description. So I said, can you create a resume based on this job description? And I copy everything right there. I click, go ahead and create that. Now you can see what it's doing. You can go ahead and still do as we did the first time, convert it to HTML, and then now you're going to have it in the form that looks very much like this, right? Because it's already giving you the career summary, the key skills that is required based on that job, right? These are the things that they expect you to have as a skill set, your work experience. They don't need more than 1 year, right? Already kind of decipher that based on the job description, and now on and on. You can then modify that and do that. This is very, very cool. All right. Another thing that we can do is that now I've already talked about this job description. Now, what if I ask uh, ChatGPT that can you please provide me an area of focus for this job description? Now I want to throw something in a tabular form with brief details. Now, using the word like this, remember that you already have an understanding of the job description you're talking about, right? Now, I said, can you provide a area of focus for this job description in a tabular form with brief details? Do you understand? Now, it's going to say, yes, I understand. And now it creates a table for you, highlight the area of focus and few prompts that you need to talk about. Maybe this will be good for you if you're preparing for that interview, right? Or you want to know what are the expectation in the job, right? What are the things that they expect you to know or they expect you to focus on as regards that job. So it's going to prepare you for the interview. Now, what about if we ask ChatGPT that can you generate possible interview question and relevant answers, right? We can also do that, right? ChatGPT to generate interview question and some relevant answers, right? It gave us a lot of information. I can throw maybe, can you enumerate in a tabular form? Tabular form. Now, interview question, relevant answers. So now, you see that your journey to market is as close than ever, right? So, which means based on this information, you see that you can actually confidently get out there. The most important thing that I want to actually emphasize for all of us is that if you have ever been trained in any field, right, you have the relevant experience for that field and you have the skill set, right? The most important thing for you now is for you to develop a resume and market yourself. Now, and that's the point that a lot of people, a lot of us, we get discouraged because you believe that you've applied to so many jobs and none of them is coming forth for you. Okay, so what are you going to do? So many a time we feel discouraged at that point. Sometimes it might be because of our resume, that our resume is not in alignment with those jobs, right? And they're not going to call you. Now, and probably you don't even know how to, what the job description is even all about. Now you have the new sheriff in town that is going to show you around. And this is just one out of 1 billion capability that ChatGPT, has, and that it can actually offer you. It seems it's not really responding much to question right now, but let's just leave it alone as is. So now you can see a lot of things that we can do using Chat GPT. And I really, really hope that based on this uh, webinar, you'll be able to start to explore a lot of opportunity. This is very, very interesting, right? Very, very, very interesting. And as a mentor, my responsibility and my commitment to people is to ensure that they maximize their potential. I, I I'm not only involved in training people, I'm also involved in guiding them, you know, on the path that they have chosen to be their um their career path, basically. So not only that, you can create a cover letter using ChatGPT, right? You can also ask ChatGPT to analyze any job description like we did, right? Previously, we asked ChatGPT to help us with the interview preparation, right? So your confidence should get better by the day. You should not be afraid of going for any interview right now, applying for the job that you have skill set in. This is very, very, very important. And I really, really hope that I'm able to convince you today and not confuse you about the capability of chat GPT. So I've seen a lot of email, right, dropping in the chat room. If you want to take a step further, right, and you can send an email or send a text to the information that I will drop in the chat room, I will be able to go ahead and get you the information. So this webinar is going to be converted to YouTube form, right? And the link will be shared with everyone that provide their information. So, and if you sending your text or sending an email to us, we'll be able to send you the information about that, and then I'll be more than happy to even give you the some of the prompt that I use, or some of the slide deck that I use for you to review as well. And if you feel that the information, you still have further question, right? Or you feel that, oh, you need somebody to guide you on any part, or you have career question, oh, definitely you have a number to call, and this number will be shared with you, my Proven Academy, right? The number will be shared in the chat room right now, and then we'll take it up from there. 281. Right, I have the phone number right there. Make sure and you can also send a WhatsApp message to that number that I shared with you as well. And again, I don't know if anybody have one or two questions that you want to ask before we shut it down in the next few minutes. Any question?
Yes, I have a question. The version of Chat GPT that you're using is not the free version. Can the free version do the same thing that you
It
have
can,
done?
I believe free version can do that same thing as well. It might give you less number of questions prompt that you can use, but it can also do exactly the same thing.
Thank you.
If I may ask as well, how much is the paid version, please?
The paid version, I think it's $20 per month. I think it's $20 per month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not marketing for ChatGPT though.
Yeah, one last question from me. So the resume template that ChatGPT help you to generate, is it ATS friendly?
I believe it will be ATS friendly, definitely. You know, the information that you have on your resume is what will determine if your resume will pass the test of time.
I think it will be ATS for speak words, and ChatGPT is giving you relevant words, so it will definitely be ATS friendly.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sorry, sir. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello.
Let's say 30 seconds, I got disconnected. Ayodele, you were talking.
Okay. Sorry, sir. I want to ask a question, not on this. Can we have access to the last training vulnerability?
Last training on vulnerability.
Yes, sir.
That would be a different conversation entirely, right?
Yes, that's why I say different.
Okay,
person.
okay, we can talk about that later.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah. So any other question? The Zoom user that asked that question, I don't know if I left any of your question unanswered. Okay, so if there is no other question, I believe I've been able to answer your question. And like I said, the number and the email is already dropped in the chat room. Feel free to reach out to us. And if you have any question, send a text first, and then you can also schedule a time for conversation. And if you prefer a one-on-one conversation, personal consult, also you can schedule. We are based in Texas, right? If you're in Texas, you can schedule a one-on-one section with you, with us, and then we'll be able to answer your question. All right. And if there's no other question, guess what? I want to wish us to have a very wonderful night rest today. And I hope that starting from next week, beginning the new month, your opportunity, to secure job will increase, your encouragement. This is just to encourage you to keep on pushing, never stop. Don't be discouraged at all. If you have been applying for a job and you're not getting results, launch back into the deep and begin to catch a fish, right? Uh, it happens that this webinar happened the last day of the first quarter, and you can give yourself the goal that this quarter I'm securing the job, and you dive out, and begin to learn more, apply for more opportunity, prepare for interview. You see the result will start rolling in for you. And please don't forget to share your testimony directly with us. We'll be more than happy to hear from you how we have positively, impacted your life and your career. So thank you again, everyone. I really appreciate you and talk to you more.
Thank you. Bye. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming too.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, BA.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.